Hey there, fellow game enthusiasts. Welcome to the very first episode of Leolearn, your go-to destination for all things game development. I'm Rico, and I'm super excited to kick off this journey with you. In today's episode, we're diving headfirst into the wonderful world of GB Studio. If you ever dream of creating your own games but felt intimidated by the process, fear not. We're going to walk through the basics together, step by step. Alright, let's get things rolling by first downloading GB Studio. Think of it as the toolbox for your game making adventure. You can find it in the GB Studio website, and don't worry, it's completely free. You can click the download button right here, and you'll get directed to the HIO page of GB Studio, and you can straight up download the GB Studio. Once you got it downloaded and installed, it's time to fire it up and creating a new project. This is where the magic begins. Now, you can input your project name in this field, and you can set the destination of the project will be located in your computer. So now let's create the game. Now, what's a game without its word, right? That's where scenes come in. Think of them as different levels or areas in your game. Let's add our first scene and start building our game universe. You can create the first scene by clicking this add button right here and pick scene. But hey, I also opening a different GB Studio project here. Let's take a quick peek at the template project. This one's got some scenes with big sizes where the camera follows the player and keeps them centered. It's a neat feature, especially for games with sprawling landscapes. Next up, we have actors. No, not the Hollywood kind. In GB Studio, actors are the characters or objects that inhabit your game world. They are heroes, they are villains, and everything in between. So let's add the character to our scene. And speaking of character, in GB Studio, your player character is represented by an arrow right here. It might seem simple, but this arrow is your avatar, your hero, well, you get the idea. It's what you control and navigate through the game world. Don't worry, you can change the art later, so it's not going to be this arrow every time. Now, let's talk about actors and their colliders. Colliders are like the invisible force fields around your actors, determining how they interact with the game world. Now that we've got our character in place, let's talk about colliders. These are like invisible boundaries that determine how actors interact with each other and their environment. Think of them as the rules of the game world, where the player can't go through the colliders. Last but not least, we have triggers. Triggers are like the buttons in your game that activate certain events. These are special events that are triggered by specific actions in the game. Want your hero to open the door or pick up a power up? Triggers make it happen. And there you have it. We covered the basics of GB Studio, from downloading and installing to creating scenes, adding actors, setting up colliders, and using triggers. That's a lot, but you did great. So, thanks for joining me on this whirlwind tour of GB Studio. I hope you're feeling inspired to start creating your own games. Remember, the journey of 1,000 levels begins with single scene. So until next time, keep on grinding and keep on creating. This is Rico right here signing off from Leolearn. Happy game making.